Yes, here we are. Second episode of BackChat Europe. We're in Amsterdam. Don't mind about that. We were Belgium last time, Netherlands last time. How's your trip been, Dan?
Very good. It's very quiet. It's a Sunday morning here in Amsterdam. Usually the sounds of our that are coming out just from outside the window of the place we're staying is just people on bikes.
You've been kicked onto the couch?
Yes. No, not kicked on. I took the couch.
Oh.
Because the bed in that other room was awful.
Okay.
So it's good. No, I really enjoy it. This couch that I'm sitting on at the moment, it's very comfortable.
Very good. Thanks to our sponsors, as always, Whippersnapper, Bluebet, Shelter Brewing Co., Leadable Cameras, Dean Barrett, the Real Estate, Bluebet, all the guys getting it done. Like usual, thanks for getting us over to Europe. We got 1 day left. We have preemptively recorded this before the last day because if we're trying to put a podcast together on the day that we fly out, we'd either make an amazing podcast and miss our flight or make a really bad podcast and make our flight.
Yeah, they're the only two options.
Yeah, correct.
So we thought we'd do it today.
Yes, so hello, Amsterdam. Welcome. Flag mantle. Flag mantle's on. Flag mantle is on.
About.
Flag mantle's on. Not
Well
flag
and
mantle's
truly.
bound. Flag mantle's on. Like, it's well and truly on.
It's well and truly on.
We watched it from the McLaren garage, effectively.
Yep.
Wrote them off. We're on a train from Amsterdam down to
Zaandvoort.
and watched a little bit there. Watched the first and second quarters.
Yep.
Down by 41 points. We thought we were going to have to put all the merch in the bin.
Yeah, I thought we were just going to have to... Mark Ratings has been talking out who's his chap that he could sell them off for us.
Yes, old someone in Cooter.
Yeah, exactly.
Cole from Cooter.
Yeah, but no, we just ordered another 1,000.
We haven't bought it another 1,000, but it is absolutely on backchatpodcast.com.au/merch. We had a couple of little funny stories along the way. I think we can put this audio in because I think it's probably worth it. Had a bit of an experience after the race in Belgium. Met up with a couple of Aussies in the paddock after the race. Probably our first error of the night.
Yeah,
one was an Aussie, one was a Brit, actually. One of the Aussies, Olympic medalist for Australia.
Yeah.
Won't say what sport.
Yep.
Won't say really anything else other than that.
Yep.
But he is in this video clip. I think just have a listen to the audio.
Yep.
And this pretty much summarises how the night went. And
Yep.
I mean, we're sitting here, so everyone's okay.
Yep, we are well and truly okay. But I'm probably the scaredest I've ever been in my life.
There you go. Very good. Well, what do you reckon about that? Was that fun? Was it? You
It
weren't
was
in the
not
front
fun.
seat,
No, I was in the front. I was in the left-hand side back seat. And I just, there was a lot of noise, a lot of people making decisions in that process. I just sat and I just watched it all.
Oh.
I just thought another voice from me is not worth it.
Right.
So I was just sitting and enjoying the show.
Probably about €200 later, 10 policemen in a police shop, a few other things in and out. We find ourselves in Amsterdam.
Yep, there we go.
It was quite fun though. It was probably the greatest final series week in the history of the game.
Yep.
And we're in Europe for it.
We're in Europe. And it's funny because I've just been crouching around a little iPhone.
Yes.
The other guy here with Tom just bought the subscription, like the international subscription for the week. So we've been able to see little bits and pieces, but it's also weird because we'll get up and get ready to go out, and then we'll look at a phone and it's like 1/4's already done.
Yeah.
Like the time difference is
Time difference has been weird.
Yeah.
But we've missed one of the great weeks of finals footy of all time, which is hilarious because we do follow football here in Europe for it.
We're doing our best.
What we are doing over here, though, we have been with McLaren, with Daniel Ricciardo. We've been on a bit of a chase for a sit down, basically.
Yeah.
Well, no, effectively an episode of BackChat with Daniel Ricciardo. Got to be honest, harder than I thought it would be.
Super hard.
We've kind of been with or around the team every day, so I just kind of thought, well, we'll just take my phone, camera, roll in, sit down episode. Hasn't happened like that, but excitingly, we got a little bonus episode coming towards you. It may or may not contain Daniel Ricciardo.
Very good.
We were able to sit down with Michael Italiano, though, for a full episode right here, where we're sitting in this apartment. So Michael Italiano is an F1 performance coach. He's Daniel Ricciardo's F1 performance coach.
Very good man.
Yeah, good man, generous with his time. Perhaps some better insight than Daniel would be able to give because he kind of sees it from third person almost of what Daniel goes through. And yeah, I think if we had have sat down fully with Daniel Ricciardo, which we may or may not have done. We'll have to wait and see. It would be difficult for him to give the ins and outs.
Yeah, of course.
It's been a bloody...
So much he can't say, so much he can say.
It's been a bloody interesting week 2 weeks to be over here. This has been Daniel Ricciardo's biggest moment of his career. There's been shit happening in the F1 world.
Yeah.
Which, if I was an F1 journalist, it'd probably be perfect to be here.
Yeah.
But I've kind of looked at it for like I usually do. Like, I haven't been chasing the big scoop or where's Ricciardo going to be next year or is Piastri in the paddock. It's been an interesting one. I reckon we actually have some breaking news that we'll just tell our BackChat listeners, and maybe we're like, this is like a worldwide exclusive. Max Verstappen, right? He won the Belgium race by a long, long way.
Yeah.
His car was so much better than the other ones. We spoke to someone yesterday, and I was kind of thinking this, like, this hasn't been in any press. So he got a new engine for Belgium, and he started at the back of the grid, and he made his way all the way to the front and won the race. Apparently, they blew a hole in the bottom of the engine, like a 6 centimetre hole in the bottom of the engine. And here in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands, he only just qualified fastest. And the reason was they've had to put his old engine back in. And I don't know if anyone knows that. Spoke to someone very reliably, no one in McLaren, just don't know.
Right, okay.
Someone in the paddock yesterday that says they had to put his old engine back in his car after one use, which means they may or may not win the race.
Because the engine won't even last, right?
Well, I don't know how all that works, but his new engine is unusable.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I know you didn't because it's a worldwide exclusive.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
There you go.
So you won't be listening to this beforehand, but when Max Verstappen doesn't win the race,
you know why?
You heard it here first.
Wow.
You
very
like that?
good. I love it.
So yeah, we've had a couple of big chats. It's been great. Really good trip. Insightful. The Dutch fans are far more energetic, let's say, than the Belgian ones.
That's
they
right.
are loose.
Absolutely.
Someone threw a flare on the track yesterday.
And then a fight broke out in the crowd.
I didn't say that.
So because they banned flares this year.
Oh, there's been flares everywhere.
Yeah, I know. So they banned them, and then because of behaviour like that, people throwing them on the track.
Right.
Someone threw one on the track, and obviously the crowd didn't want, weren't siding with the guy who threw it on the track. Didn't think it was a good idea. And then there's good photos. I didn't see any vision, but there's good photos of just like very angry Dutch people like pointing at each other, and yeah.
So when that happened, the scene in Happy Gilmore when they're all up the scaffolding, the TV scaffolding, and it falls over. Yeah, I was genuinely on one of those with like 10 people thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna fall onto the track here." I'll put some footage up when we get over when we get back. But I watched the qualifying from up there. I will say on the footage, we do have a shitload of footage. We just haven't posted it.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. We will post it when we get out of the country, and they're not going to ban us. They can ban us from out of the country, and we'll post a whole bunch of shit. It's been awesome. We're on Fox Sports the other day.
Yeah, we were.
Back at the garage.
Yep.
Don't know what we were doing there.
A couple of screenshots sent through. It's hard to look naturally just like impressed and enjoying yourself, I found, because like I thought I was just looking, observing.
You're not happy with the feedback?
No, people just thought, like, I've just been told, like, you just look like you're very unhappy in there from the screenshot.
Is everything okay?
Everything's fine.
Look, we don't usually do this, but on that, let's get into some fines. How about that?
All right, very
amazing scenes. Fines, Dean Bradley, local real estate man, inner western suburbs. He's matching fines for the season. We'll also be doing some activations with our charities over the year. You can find him on socials, deanbradley.realmark, or get in touch with Big Dino. Get yourself a house, deanbradley.com. Get in there. All right. Our charities, Men's Talk, Sabre, Soccer to Sarcoma. Excuse me. Wow. Sorry about that.
You all right, mate?
I asked if you were feeling fine. I am feeling great. Since we introduced fines, we're up to about $1,200. Thank you very much. Let's get into it. Luke Coates, who gets the fine? Schoey and Dan, $2.50 for not knowing what was meant by the white toothy prick. That was basically me. It was the shark. You still don't know. Dan's looking into the piss.
No. I'm thinking like I think you read it and it was like you weren't sure if you were getting stitched up.
Yeah, it was shit reading. That's fine. $2.50. Put it in the bin. Kyle Campbell, the bloke from Western Power. Wow, $2 for accidentally cutting my power line. He was sent out to cut my neighbour's line as they have a vine wrapped around it, but cut by mistake. Currently sitting here in the dark with my work laptop battery dwindling while they rush a new crew out to make me a new power line.
Well, hopefully you've got power to listen to this.
You've got one job, mate. What are you cutting? Oh, my gosh. $2. All right, Lockie Neal sent it in. G'day, Lockie. Thanks for listening, mate. Great win on the weekend against Richmond. He's fining Andy Brayshaw, $3, stealing the Brownlow from me. Charlie was looking so shiny this year that it took Schoey's bald head to run it for his money. Okay, very good. Okay, thank you very much. Eric Shun, the Gabbers chief button pusher,
Yes.
$3 for playing Richmond's song after they lost to Brisbane.
Yes.
Did you say this? No.
I did. Yeah, I did.
You actually did?
So the siren goes, usually scenes, Richmond theme song.
Wow.
One job.
Hayden Dwyer, Skeet Reddings, $5. So the boys have been looking after the Shelter footy cast, Skeet Reddings.
Very well, by the way.
Simon Beaumont. For talking up that there will be one close nail-biter game this weekend and the rest would be one-sided blowouts for an expert. Oh, how wrong you were, my friend. Don't throw in that expert thing, but that is absolutely gold.
Save that. We'll screenshot, send that to Skeet.
Skeeter. If you want to send us a fine, send them in hello@backchatpodcast.com.au. Thanks again, Dean Bradley, for your support, mate. What about this? Why don't we do a bit of you send it, we read it? Yeah, this is brought to us by Leadable Cameras, the boys down there at Oxford Street, focusing on cameras,
Binoculars,
tripods,
drones, lenses,
wires to put things in.
Yeah.
What else?
What else? Everything you need tech related to make a podcast.
Okay, thank you very much. Oxford Cameras down there, Leadable Cameras down there on Oxford Street. Get down there and sort them out. Tell them Schoey sent you for $20 off, I believe. Martin Reid.
Pretty good. Hey guys, after watching footy for a few years now, I've started to become a bit irritated with some of the rules, and maybe it's rule interpretations. And I'm keen to get Schoey's thoughts on this because I feel like I might be the only one who gets a bit annoyed when I see these calls because no one seems to be talking about it. Number one,
Yes.
push in the back. I thought this rule was brought in to protect and/or support players leading up and taking a mark. Since when did it become wrong to fall into someone's back when tackling? I'm not sure I understand why this is an issue, but for some reason the umpires have to call it. Does Schoey see this as an issue when tackling? Because I don't see a safety reason why this would be deemed a free kick, unlike protecting the head with high head free kicks.
Yeah, I mean, not every free kick is a safety thing. Like a push in the back in a marking contest isn't there for a safety reason either. It's more of an unfair and advantage type rule. Pushing in the back while tackling. I mean, that's always been a rule. Junior footy. That's not new.
Yeah.
I don't think. I've always been taught to roll tackles when you're running people down from behind. That one doesn't annoy me. Sorry, Big Martin.
Okay, that's right. Holding the man. This is the second one. Similar to previous, I thought this rule was about holding players going for the footy. However, players get pinged when they tackle the ball carrier, but the ball carrier just drops the footy. And if the tackler continues to tackle because they assume the ball carrier still has the footy, they get pinged for holding the man instead of getting rewarded for a good tackle. I'm with you on this one.
I'm not actually with you with the tackling aspect, but I hate holding the man in like marking contests. Like I'm a backman, of course, midfielder's fault. BackChat merch, backchatpodcast.com.au/merch. Like, but little tiggy touchwood holes in marking contests like that are getting called more and more. Just let them play on. Like, let them go on.
Let them wrestle.
Like, I don't know about the, yeah. I think overall there's too many rules. There's too many rules, too much adjudication.
Okay.
Don't love it. What about the end of the bet?
I don't know. I don't know. These seem against the spirit of the game for me, but happy to hear Schoey correct me, and also feel free to shorten and summarise this email. Sorry, it's a little long. That's fine.
We can't. You sent it. We read it, Martin. Appreciate it.
Cheers,
Go
lads.
Pies,
Go Pies. #BlueBet.
Well, you didn't go very well on the weekend, did we, Martin?
Well, yeah. And now they have to face flag mantle.
Yeah.
The train.
I feel for you, Martin. Feel for you, mate. Joel Yeldon.
Mr. Daniel Sutton is the subject. What a great chat that was. Growing up watching him, but knew nothing about him. Thanks so much. Go the Dockers.
Yeah. One of our better chats, I thought, Daddy.
Yeah, he was so awesome.
Can't call him Daddy.
No, Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel, Dan. We covered everything on that one, didn't we? Thanks, Joel. Bryce.
G'day, lads. I hope Belgium and Holland have been treating you kindly.
Yeah, as you can hear.
I was hoping to initiate a bit of footy nuffy conversation here. Off the back of Tommy Brass winning the BNF this year, I thought I noticed a correlation during his season and was surprised to not hear anyone else discussing it.
Okay.
Obviously, he was consistent for the entire year, though it seems his form peaked after the bye. His peak in form also coincides with the time Gov stopped playing after his season-ending injury. My point is, it appears that losing Gov allowed TB to play a different role, which resulted in him hitting some career-best form. I'd always thought about TB had the potential to play a role like Gov, but it seems that due to team balance, there can only be one Gov. I hadn't heard anyone else discuss this as a contributing factor to TB's form in the back half of the season, and I'm interested to hear your thoughts on how the balance will potentially shift again next season. Do you want to address that before we go to the last paragraph?
Yeah, it's a pretty good point, Bryce. We've met Bryce. I don't know if you remember meeting Bryce, but
yes, actually, yeah, no.
Yeah, so it's a good point. Yeah, I mean they have always sort of, especially younger, been similar players. I do think TB's been trending more away to playing on the best player, even when Gov's in the side. I don't know. I definitely think you can have them both in the same team. I just think TB got better and better and had a really bloody good year, consistent year. Was beating his opponent every week. We saw a fair bit of that intercept stuff, which is what I'm assuming you're talking about, Bryce, with a lot more like Gov. But I actually thought he beat his man a lot more than he has done in the past, which is probably why he got just as many votes. The consistency factor with how he played on his opponent. That's probably what I reflect on for his year, was his ability to beat his opponent rather than the intercept stuff. We saw like that Hawthorn game. He had 50 marks. Yeah. But yeah, it is a good point. Could you play Gov forward? Maybe it could be something you could do, because Rhett Bazzo's coming up through. Josh Rothman can play tall. Harry Edwards played a better half of the year than his first half of the year, so you do have a bit of depth there. Whereas in the forward line, always difficult to kick goals.
Mm-hmm. And he's kicked some big ones.
Yeah, who Gov off his shin. One.
Yeah. All right. On a side note, this is still Bryce. On a side note, I'm running my first 100k ultra marathon in a few weeks. I don't know why you'd want to do that. Wow. So I've stopped listening to the pod, trying to bank up enough new episodes to keep me distracted for the 12-hour race.
Oh shit! Okay.
Knowing that the next time I listen to the pod, I'm going to be the owner of a one-way ticket to the Pain Cave. I wanted to request that you subtly sprinkle some inspirational quotes throughout the pods just to help me going. Cheers, lads. Love your work.
When the going gets tough, the tough get going, Bryce.
Good. That's one. Dan Ricardo said a good one.
I don't know, but where there's a will, there's a way.
That's a very good one. He said something about the... he said when the
siren goes...
and the whistle blows, I'm going to be running or something.
Yeah, I don't stop running.
Yeah.
There you go, Bryce. Three there. I'll see if I can come up with some more while Dan reads the next one. Nino.
Hey fellas, love the show and the episodes each week. I'm sorry, Dan, but this is a bit of a snip story.
We love snip stories.
I was listening to the Shelter Footycast preview of the first week of finals, and Mark Reddings announced that he has had a snip in the past. And
they did a snip story over there.
It was hilarious, and I was in tears of laughter. So I just wanted to see if you guys heard anything about hurting his back in the process. Sorry, Mark.
No.
Have you heard this?
No, I haven't.
Well... We'll have to get it from Mark.
Like, we leave for Europe and leave them to own devices, and they've done a snip story. That is bloody hilarious. Nino, you're back again.
Hi, Schoey and Dan. I'm not the biggest fan of Lando Norris myself, and if he was a footballer, would he be a midfielder or a forward? I personally reckon he'd be a midfielder.
Let's just say, I wasn't a Lando fan before I got here, and having been here, I'm way less of a Lando fan.
Right.
I don't want to. McLaren have given us great access to the F1. I don't want to bag their only other driver.
Yep.
Not a fan.
Okay.
What would he be? He'd be the most outside wingman of all time, Lando Norris. You wouldn't see him near a pack, I reckon. BackChat bets.
Yeah. The F1 special that we did.
How do we go?
Well, in the first couple of laps, I think Hamilton was out.
Crashed.
DNF. Yep. Yeah. He turned into Fernando Alonso, and it was over.
We had him for podium. So this is brought to you by Bluebet.
Yeah.
European BackChat bets.
That's right.
So podium for Hamilton?
Yeah. Obviously, no.
Ricardo top 10?
No. They were so slow. They were so slow. I think he was 15th or 16th.
Safety car to come out? Yeah, well, that happened.
Definitely did.
But it also ruined our bet.
Yep.
And both Alpine drivers in the points. That happened. Yeah, it did.
Yep.
Yeah, they were very good.
Yeah.
All right, so
that was the only good one.
We're sort of there. We are down to 6 people left in the blue bet bracket.
Yes.
And sorry, just sort of something else. Anyway, 6 people left in the blue bet bracket. Alan Barsh has got Freo at $41.
That's huge.
You may as well just cash that check now. Martin Reid has Collingwood at $51.
That's not bad.
Mark Evans has Geelong at $12. That's not bad. $7 at Brisbane. I don't love that, Natalie. I'm sorry. Sydney, Callum, $13. That could be the best bet of the year.
Yep.
And Melbourne at $4.25 for Tommy.
Still,
yep.
A cool $80 return.
That's it. Where are we? We're done, dusted?
Yeah, just a short one.
Just a short one today. We're going to get to the race. It's literally Sunday morning over here. Getting ourselves ready for the race. I'm getting a bit hot and sweaty. We've had to shut the windows in here.
I'll give some observations about Europe real quick.
Thank you.
And it's just because it gets obviously quite cold here. So there's just no aircon anywhere.
Yeah.
Like we went into some bars last night and it was stinking hot. Just not a single fan in the place. Yeah. Sort that out, please, Amsterdam.
Thank you.
Another thing, why don't they put salt on anything?
No salt.
Just like things that need salt, like chips or just general food. Just put salt on it, please. Yes. I don't want to have to do my own salt every time.
We've had a few ordering issues over here, I think.
Well,
we've had a couple of ordering issues.
Yeah, and also because I brought a bunch of cash over.
Yes.
And everywhere that
Hello, ATO.
But I
it's all right, I bought cash too.
And a lot of places have the screen that you order from, right? And so they make it very easy. But
here comes the street cleaner, by the way. Enjoy that.
But you can't pay with cash at these things. So then you have to go to the counter. And because they obviously don't speak to people often, it's hard to order and they don't understand me. So I've had ordering issues.
I thought you were European.
Yeah, only half.
Okay.
What else? I had one more other gripe. I reckon bars, they waste about a quarter of the keg on pouring beer. I've never seen such sloppy behaviour.
They pour it straight up and down, don't they?
Straight up and down, then just cut the foam off the top. It's spilling everywhere. They hand it to you and it's wet. There's just beer everywhere. You look down when they're pouring it and it's just running everywhere.
You'd struggle over here. There's not many cars. Not enough horns for you, I don't reckon.
I don't think I heard a horn last night because a scooter almost crashed into a car. But yeah, I think I'll just be ringing the bell.
A lot of bells in Netherlands.
Is that okay? How do you feel about the bell?
See, that's a courtesy.
Now it's a courtesy.
People aren't riding past and belling people for not merging fast enough.
No, I reckon
there's no anger bells, mate.
There's anger bells.
It's the exact reason you use a horn in the car, so people know you're coming, mate.
Yeah, get out of the way.
Done and dusted. It's been fun, Europe. We'll be back normal programming next week. Coming up on the show on Wednesday, Michael Italiano.
Not a fake name, by the way.
Michael Italiano. Hey, Michael. He is Dan Ricciardo's coach. Has behind the scenes access. We sit down with him for a big chat. So that'll be coming up, and we'll see you back home in Perth for Flag Medal next week.